everyone! Welcome to Nuuli Forged. Thank you for bearing with us while we got the last few bits and bobs ready to go. We are excited to play today. We all have had a very interesting couple of days, and we are very much looking forward to getting kind of out of our heads for a little bit. First off, real quick, I personally would like to thank everyone who went out and voted in the US election the past few weeks, and especially a big thank you to everyone who went and volunteered to work as a pollster. So thank you very much for that. Now, that all being said, let's get into some fun, wacky D&D adventures. How's that sound?
Ooh, so much better than looking at the elections, even though I have it on one of my screens.
Right. Well, let's go around and do quick little introductions. Let's start up here with Defect. Mike, go ahead, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your character. And tonight I would like to know what everybody's character's favorite... I would like to know what their favorite mocktail is. Not their favorite cocktail, their favorite mocktail.
That's hard because I don't drink mocktails.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
What non-alcoholic?
I know, I'm making it difficult for all of you.
I've heard of one or two of those.
So it's just a cocktail without alcohol, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name's Mike. I'm playing Defect, the Warforged barbarian, and the only mocktail I can think of off the top of my head is a Shirley Temple.
That's the one I know of.
Very nice. Yep.
I know. So we're just going with that. Extra cherries.
Nice.
We'll make it fancy.
I used to drink those as a kid, and now I'm an alcoholic.
Awesome. Let's hop on down screen to Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber. I play Grrrig. And Greg doesn't really know what a mocktail is. Does like eggnog count? Like if you put like a stick in it to make it fancy, like the cinnamon one, right? They like taste funny. Does that count? Is that a mocktail?
Absolutely.
There you go. I'm drinking the non-mocktail version.
Wonderful. Sarah, go ahead. Give yourself an intro.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Kaerlie, the elf druid. And Kaerlie's favorite mocktail would be juice and seltzer.
Nice. All right, and now I'm going to give it over to Tanner for the hardest question he's ever answered.
I wouldn't say that's the hardest question I've ever answered. The hardest will be, although it won't, be staying in the US after this election. I would have to say sorry. Hi, I'm Tanner. I'm playing Aetis. I didn't sleep last night, so...
Mm-hmm.
I would say mulled cider.
Ooh, nice. Very nice.
Minus the whiskey.
Sure. And Matt.
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm playing Spoot. And I think Spoot's favorite mocktail would be an Arnold Palmer. Does that count?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll count an Arnold Palmer. Okay. Sure, why not?
Cool.
And instead of like a lemon, it's a fish.
Right.
That's to stay on brand.
Yeah.
You just open its mouth and put it on the rim, so it's like hanging off the glass.
Okay then. Great.
Listen, you got to stay on brand.
Cool.
Totally.
That's true.
I dig it. I dig it. Well, all that silliness being concluded, everybody, let's dive in, shall we, to this week's episode of Nuuli Forged, episode 13. Mwahahaha.
My favorite number.
Yes. When last we met, our band of adventurers spent a day in the Hidden Enclave, home of a sect of self-proclaimed protectors of the borders of the Arid Wastes. Following a feast in which a portal to another realm was opened, and left open, our heroes found themselves disturbed by the lack of general concern of the town populace. However, after a few words with some of the individuals within the Enclave, they settled into sort of an uneasy sense of peace, I would say. That evening, as they slept, each member of the party was visited by a strange and perhaps prophetic dream. Who knows? We'll have to find out. The following day saw our troop meeting a few more folks. Aetis met with an elf who was purported to be 1,200 years old and had even been to his home village of Lycos at some point in the past. Kaerlie met with a fun little halfling woman who appeared to be quite well versed in herb lore and animal handling, and had an array of interesting little pets running around.
And I pet her hedgehog.
You did pet a hedgehog, that's true. Yet the companions were eager to be off to head towards their original destination, the Threll Ruins, deep in a 4-day trek into the Arid Wastes. They were escorted 4 days back towards the path where they had first met Elithar, and there they parted company with the Scoutmaster's forces. They turned south, and as the sun began to set, they came over a final rise and saw before them, laid out, a vast open desert of sand, oppressive heat, and untold dangers. So this is where we pick up. The sun is setting, and you can see before you a vast desert. You're currently still in like a bit of a plains area. Maybe a couple miles off seems to be the desert. And as you look down the slope that you are currently on top of, you can see that it's almost as though somebody drew a line. And on one side of that line is where you are in this kind of dusty plains area. And then immediately on the other side, it immediately turns to sandy desert.
A proverbial line in the sand.
As it were, yeah. That being said, what would you all like to do?
What time of day is it? It's morning?
No, you left Elithar about midday, and it is now heading towards sunset. The sun is streaking across the sands from the west as it begins to set.
So maybe we should stay on our line of the sand one more night.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much further necessarily would be dangerous.
Do we want to travel at night or during the day?
Fair point.
Well, the day is hot, but the Mies said at night it's also equally dangerous because of creatures. I can see at night, but I'd prefer to have further vision of stuff that might be coming at us.
See in the dark too, but I seem to recall that a couple of us can't.
That is
I think it's just... Isn't it just you, big guy Spoot?
I don't think Defect can see in the dark either.
That's correct.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Gotta
So
work
it's our
on
two
that.
big guys.
We could always light something up, but obviously that makes it a little obvious where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure walking into hostile land screaming, "Hey, look at us!" is in our best interest.
Yeah, and I mean, the forest for me would be one thing, but deserts are not anything I'm familiar with.
Right. Well, yeah, sure. Let's get a little away in at least. I don't know, and then we can set up our tent. Not dark yet.
We got like 1 or 2 more hours of light?
Yeah, you've probably got about an hour and a half left of light, you think?
Well, we can probably push on for about another hour, give or take, and start setting up.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
If that's what y'all think best.
Not necessarily set on a campfire tonight, though. I don't know.
I mean, the tent's pretty cozy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying with a campfire might not want to attract anything.
It
Sure.
will get pretty cold tonight, though, I think, in the desert.
but not in our tent. We have the comfy tent.
Was it keeping the heat that well? Well, there are 5 of it. Can count.
We also have bedrolls.
Yeah.
Which I just imagine as nice, cozy sleeping bags.
Yeah, you've used the tent enough times to know that regardless of what the external temperature is the inside of your magic backpack tent is always comfortable.
Do the bedrolls fit, Spoot?
Yeah.
What have you been
guess it
sleeping in?
It doesn't. I mean, I've been sleeping in my shell, but I've never thought to ask if the bedrolls actually fit.
Yeah, the bedrolls seem to fit whoever gets in them. They kind of readjust automatically.
This is a really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Right.
can't
If you're
remove
doing-
the bedrolls and blankets, however, but they do,
Grrrig.
you know.
So no stargazing for you.
Well, you may have bedrolls of your own. That depends on what your gear pack is like. So.
Okay. No magic stargazing.
You'll have to worry about the temperature if you're stargazing.
That's right.
Plebes.
But
all of you.
otherwise, we have the ultimate in glamping tents.
I wouldn't say ultimate. What's glamping?
Glamour camping.
How would you?
No, I know what glamping is, but
Oh, that was Aetis voice.
Tanner does, Aetis doesn't.
my parents are very into glamping.
We did
Well.
some glamping on our honeymoon. It was quite lovely.
Indeed. Well, so are you progressing down a little ways into the desert then?
Yeah, for about an hour, give or take,
All right, cool.
with just enough light to kind of just set things up and.
Sure.
I mean, it's not like setting up the tent is a complicated process.
Nope. I get to say pot course fern.
Oh no, I'm still going to
I
get
just-
Yeah, the tent begins opening up on Defect's back.
Oh, right. Sorry. Sorry about that.
20 minutes later, it turns back into a backpack, so you can continue going.
Well, my only can go for about 40 minutes.
I guess I'm getting good at that. Sorry.
Right. Well, once that's all settled, the sun is dipping very low on the horizon now. You see big shadows across. As each one of you steps across in that imaginary line into the desert before you, you can see that when you make that step, you immediately feel the intensity of the heat around you. Left over from the day or just residual heat, you're not quite sure. But it is hot. It's at least 10 or 20 Fahrenheit degrees hotter than the area you were just standing on.
Spoot, do you wear shoes?
No, don't need them.
How does this feel on your feet?
Well, it's pretty warm,
Alright.
but not too bad. My soles are pretty thick.
Alright, because in my shoes, my feet are already starting to sweat.
Do we
I don't
maybe
think-
want to push on a bit past dark? Maybe not all night?
Well, we're not going all night, just a little bit.
Right, but I mean, do we want to push on a little bit because tomorrow during the day we're going to need to take a break at the hot part of the day.
But we have our clothing that prevents us from getting exhaustion, I think.
Yeah, the desert garb helps protect you from the extreme of the heat. That plus your tinctures of sun balm and all that sort of stuff. That will definitely, using the sun balm, which I think each pot of it has 20 uses.
Okay.
Each use of that will prevent you from having to make essentially a sunburn check at the end of the day. So, and the desert wear will allow you to traverse through storms without difficulty of breathing. That doesn't mean it still won't be difficult to get through this area, because already you can tell that the sands beneath you shift. It's kind of difficult going, and it's very warm right now.
So basically,
Weird.
like difficult terrain, long travel.
It's not quite difficult terrain at this point. It's just that it is, shifting sand underneath you, and it's it's a different kind of terrain. It's like walking on a very fine sanded beach or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, okay. So you walk for about an hour, and you find a place to set yourselves up with your little camping area. Aetis, you notice, just because you got your eyes open, that the area around you is just kind of big, voluminous sand dunes and starlight and nothing much else.
Well, I don't see anything moving, so that's nice. But have we pushed on about the 40 minutes?
Yeah, I would say that you've been walking in the actual desert for about an hour now. It's starting to get dark, even though there is the two moons are out and there's stars that are reflecting and shining down. It is still pretty dim.
Well, Grrrig, do the thing.
I take off the back.
Yeah, okay. All right, you ready? Everybody's ready. Not quite turn.
And the backpack on the ground, slowly over the next 10 minutes, opens up, and a big 20 by 20 tent that you are all very used to sleeping in is yours this evening.
Yay.
I'll just kind of like, once everything's kind of set up, start setting up the alarm in like various spots around the tent, but just like stick 2 arrows in the sand to kind of like, set it up, since I don't have anything to set it on.
Great. And they're 20 by 20 foot areas, and
it's a 20 by 20 foot cube,
okay.
But I can like split up the area just to make like intervals to kind of like lessen. Does that make sense? Can I do that? I don't know if that's a thing.
I would say that you can create a perimeter. Like, you can either create a perimeter immediately around the outside of the tent, or you could make one that's like just in front of the tent. Can you have multiple alarms up at one time? Because then you could put like a few ones up all over the place.
I don't think it says.
Well, let's see. You choose a door, window, or an area that is no larger than a 20-foot cube until it ends. So I would say that, yeah, you can put multiple alarms up at one time. Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll take the time to do that.
Cool. So you're like setting one up kind of around the entire perimeter of the tent?
Not just like right outside the tent, just like a little bit back, so we have a little bit of forewarning.
Sure, yeah, totally. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Great. I love it. Cool.
I guess I could start doing that too. I think I figured out how you do that. Maybe next time.
Well,
Alright.
if you need a wire, I can give you some.
Cool.
So are you all just kind of trusting in the alarm and hanging out in the tent?
Oh, we should watch.
Or are you watching?
No, we should have a watch.
I would say the alarm is for an area that we aren't looking in, possibly.
Like behind the tent.
Sure.
Behind, or like in the peripherals where we might not see them moving as much.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
for the people who can't see in the dark.
Right. We may have a bit of an for those of us who don't have dark vision to watch.
I would say the ones without dark vision, since it's very dim already, would be first and last watch when the sun starts to come.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool.
That way, when it's darkest, the 3 of us can at least see the best.
At least see 60 feet.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So great. So you're doing 4 watches? Is that how you're breaking it up?
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Do first watch.
All right. So Defect will have the first watch. Go ahead, make a perception check, Defect.
Everybody eat your good berries so you don't have to eat today.
15.
Great. With a 15, you notice that the stars are shining bright. There is kind of a constant wind that picks up a few times while you're on watch. Nothing so dangerous and biting as to threaten to blow the tent away or anything. But you do just generally notice that there's a constant breeze at this point in time. Never having been to a desert before, you are kind of unfamiliar with how it's supposed to be. But Spoot was saying that it's going to get very cold, and as far as you can tell, it's still pretty warm, even in this nighttime area.
Okay.
But otherwise, nothing disrupts your evening.
Is this like the Neverwinter of deserts?
Who knows?
Okay. With that, I shall wake up Grrrig.
Okay.
Hi.
Great. Defect has awoken you for your watch, Grrrig.
I
Go
shall
ahead.
perceive.
Yeah, go ahead, make that perceive.
Nice.
Wonderful. Yeah, a 19. You also notice generally it's vast and open in stars, and it's very pretty out here, and it is very, very warm. You've heard about deserts, but it's not cold, so you don't know what those people were talking about. You notice that there is definitely kind of that constant breeze that's going on, but it's not like a cooling breeze, it's just a warm breeze. And it changes direction multiple times while you are resting. And you notice that one of the sand dunes, kind of about 200 feet away from you, kind of blows away and kind of shifts over to one side and kind of reforms. So you're pretty sure that sand dunes may not always stay where they are here. But whether that's because of some magical property or just because of the wind blowing the sand, you aren't entirely sure.
Early on my watch, I am going to wake up Aetis about.
Okay.
Like if I notice that like a couple hours in, I'm gonna be like, that's weird.
I would say you realize this about halfway through, like half the sand dune is missing.
Okay.
Like it doesn't just quickly happen, you just see it over time, like it shifts. And not by like 300 feet, by like 5 feet.
Okay.
So it's like the sand kind of blows over one place and the dune just kind of shifts.
Okay, and the wind is like just steady but not hard?
Yeah, it's
Like,
constant.
the speed of the wind doesn't change.
No, the direction changes. It might pick up and die down a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent.
Trying to decide whether Grrrig would freak out about that. Having never been to the desert. I think that, yeah, Grrrig would wake up Aetis.
Roll for
The
anxiety.
sand is moving.
Huh?
Is sand supposed to move?
Hey,
It's
what-
windy. The last time it was windy and something moved, it was a thing. But this sand is moving.
Sand does that sometimes. It's not very heavy.
I mean, okay. Okay, but these aren't it's not like, okay. Okay, go to bed. Okay.
Great. Yeah, other than that, nothing bothers your encampment on your watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will, in a surprising moment of insight, wake up Kaerlie instead of Aetis, having just disturbed him.
Wonderful.
Slightly embarrassed to have been frightened.
How considerate.
Mm-hmm.
Kaerlie,
I
you
think
are
your
awoken.
turn.
So, Kaerlie, you have been awoken by Grrrig. You can go ahead and make a perception check.
Hear any of that because everybody froze.
Yeah, I just noticed that you were frozen.
Ah, okay. You've been awoken by Grrrig for your watch.
And now
Ah, very good.
So go ahead and make a perception check.
everyone else is.
22.
Nice.
All right. With a
Paying
22, yeah, you notice pretty much everything that has been previously mentioned. You can tell, being druidic by nature, even though this isn't the sort of environment you were raised in, you are able to notice a few falcons or night birds of some kind flying and diving down in parts of the desert, presumably to pick up some little something that's scurrying around. It is still kind of unnaturally warm, even at night here. And I would say that you notice that the sand dunes are kind of shifting position due to the wind more so than anything else. It's just constant moving of delicate sand grains being moved over time. But yeah, otherwise, nothing aggressive comes towards you.
This is so refreshing.
I know. I don't understand. It's not trying to kill us?
Yet.
I mean, I feel like we're walking into the movie Dunes, so
Tremors.
or Tremors.
Yeah.
Giant
Tatooine.
sandworms. Got it.
Yeah,
Could be a
if you're
great
gonna
dragon.
find sandworms, at least add Kevin Bacon as an NPC.
I know. Timothy Chalamet. That's what we're going. All right.
Not stinging black leather.
All right. So, Kaerlie, your watch appears to come to the end. Without.
What's the light
problems.
situation like?
It is starting. It's not dawn yet. It's still a little ways off, but it looks like the sky might be lightening just a little bit. But you probably got a few more hours of dark before true daylight breaks.
All right. In that case, Aetis, you're up.
What?
It's your turn.
Okay.
So far, it's nothing but wind out there.
That's a nice change.
It is kind of.
Yeah. Great. So, Aetis, go ahead. Roll a perception check for your watch.
Do I have to roll or can I use my passive?
Because you're
Sure.
like actively on watch, I'm gonna say it's
Damn.
an active
Okay.
roll. Okay, great. With a 16, because you've been told about like shifting sand dunes, you're kind of watching the dunes, and you do see the wind kind of blow various directions, and indeed move the sand dunes around a little bit. After about an hour and a half of your watch, the sun begins to crest from the east, and long shadows start like piercing in your direction. And almost as soon as daylight hits where you are standing, the temperature begins to rise dramatically. And you can just tell that it's going to be a hot day. And there are very few, if any, clouds in the sky at the moment.
Ugh. So I'll wake everybody up once
Yeah.
it's like time.
Yeah, by the time you awaken everybody, dawn has passed. It seems dawn comes quickly here because there's not much to prevent it from doing so. There's no trees, there's no mountains. But yeah, you wake up all your companions.
Guys, I hate the desert.
Has the dune moved? First thing Grrrig checks.
All night long. They're just
Make an
blowing around out
investigation
there.
check, Grrrig.
18.
That dune moved at least 3 inches, yeah.
I guess that's normal. I don't poke it. I want to poke it.
Greg, don't touch anything. You know how
Don't. Don't.
I didn't
poke
even
it.
touch that other thing. Shush.
That's
Greg,
true.
both you and I,
30 feet away.
Greg, both you and
You tried to. You thought about poking it.
with the intention that brought that up. But you and I,
Fine. You know this is normal. This is normal. Also, it seems really, really hot, and it got hot so fast. Like, isn't that weird?
No, it never got cold. It was
Yeah,
hot
that's
in the
weird.
middle of the night.
Was it not cold last night?
No.
it was toasty.
Oh.
Is that weird?
At least it's not humid.
Spoot needs to check himself.
It's a dry heat.
Oh yeah, do your sunscreen, everybody.
Oh yeah,
Sunscreen.
sunscreen everybody up.
Just
Put
do
on your
like,
desert clothes.
Need sunscreen?
I'm sorry?
Does Defect need sunscreen?
You don't know.
well, just like apply that white coat to his nose.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
just like one line down the nose, or where his nose would be.
All right.
And then
Is everybody else applying as you would normally apply sunscreen?
Oh yeah.
Assuming you did not want to burn? Great. Cool.
Especially the nose and the ears.
Yep. Very cool.
My ears are easy to get.
They're just holes in the side of your head.
Don't put sunscreen in there.
You're not supposed to put anything in there. Hey.
What turtles do in the swamp. Sorry.
Yeah, no kink shaming.
Bear with me. I'm going to try to switch to real distance.
Oh, all right.
Woohoo!
But yeah, my computer finally stopped updating.
Okay, great, cool. Give us a shout when you're going to do the switch.
Now.
Oh, okay, great.
So I think that was the shout.
This was your shout.
Great, I love it. Ew.
Hey!
Oh
Hey.
God!
I'm further away.
You're back.
Hey, there he is.
That was
All
offensive.
right, that might take half an hour.
You were really loud.
Oh wait, I should switch these two because I can hear you.
Yeah, no, that was very offensive, Bobby.
Oh.
What I do?
Yeah, you were real quiet before, and so everyone had you turned up, and then all of a sudden you were like, ah.
Oh,
Ooh,
Sorry.
lower your voice. Damn. It's so early.
Yeah, really, it's early in the morning here.
you said give a shout, right?
I mean,
Wow.
I did, but that's not quite what I meant, but that's all right.
Sorry, stream.
Cool.
Apologize to us. Damn. We're your party
Yeah.
members.
Yeah, we're the ones who can complain about it.
All right. Well then, so it is your time, my friends, to get up and go.
All right. Do we have anything like directions?
You have I think you got like directions and a kind of rough map. It's not an exact like detailed map because it's a desert and the sands move. But according to the information you got in Red Sand, there are some form of markers, like stone pillars or something. But you know it's supposed to be 4 days due south from the end of the path.
The path we just got off of, or the
Yeah.
path somewhere else?
The path you just got off of.
All right, friends. I hope you like walking into the sun.
Again, I like
No.
the forest.
Me too. It's so cool and green and leafy there.
Yeah. Alright, so Aetis will kind of like look at where the sun's rising and then just like find the right direction and then we all shove off.
Great, yeah, just go ahead, give me a quick survival check.
West. East.
Is Spoot aiding me in survival?
I
Wait.
imagine
I'm
he
sure
is.
you
yeah.
want his help at the moment. He doesn't know what direction you're looking.
I don't want to
North.
run in the desert, sorry.
Apparently, I don't know anything about deserts.
Great, yeah. With an 18, easy enough. It's not difficult. So away you go, heading south. As you go, it is very hot. It's not hot enough to make you have difficulty progressing, but it is definitely warm, and the sands winds are picking up, and sand is like stinging at you. You've put on all your desert gear, so you can breathe all right through it, but you definitely can tell that this is a harsh environment, and it's probably just gonna get hotter.
Gross.
As it approaches mid morning.
Guys, why did we take this mission? It's so hot out here.
I don't know.
As it approaches,
Because there's
Someone
rich
died.
treasure.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
We don't know until we get there, so let's keep going.
Cool. So as it approaches kind of a mid-morning, you guys have been walking for a few hours. Aetis, you detect kind of up about 20 feet away from you, well, about 40 feet away from you, I suppose. You can see like a big dust cloud kind of whirling up. It's like 10 feet or so, and it just seems to be like a standing in place. And then as you watch, it kind of moves over to one side and then kind of back to another side.
Okay. Just for like description wise, like kind of like a dust devil looking thing?
Yes, but much larger.
Oh, okay. I vote we don't go near that.
Near what? Oh, yeah.
Grrrig says
Yeah.
That
halfway over.
Grrrig, don't touch it.
So, yeah. Thanks, Aetis.
Yep.
Humans.
That's
Mutter.
right.
Humans are so
It's-
mutter.
Ugh, humans.
Yeah. Bossy humans think goblins don't know mutter.
As you are kind of walking away from it, Aetis, you notice that the thing seems to follow you.
Does this look possibly like the wind elemental we saw before?
It does seem to have characteristics that are reminiscent of that, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's keep walking, and Aetis is gonna like keep a specific eye kind of towards it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I
Yeah.
have maybe. Oh, good.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think the dirt devil is more important right now.
Well, as you are walking,
Can I ask what the weather is going to be like here in the next 24 hours?
Hot. Not
oh yeah, with your druidcraft? Yeah, so you cast druidcraft, and you get the sense that it's going to be mostly open skies and very hot. But there's something that gives this place an air of unpredictability that you can't quite get all around. And you can't get anything more specific than that, really. You have a sense that something might change at any time.
Cool.
I don't like that.
Well, me either. I was hoping to get a handle on if, there might be a sandstorm brewing or something, but apparently the answer is maybe.
Great. This might be as bad as the forest.
This is way worse than the forest.
No. Not yet. Remember that bush? Is that thing still following us?
At this point in time, you turn to look, Grrrig, and indeed, the whirling thing has kind of swung around in front of you and is coming towards Aetis head on. And Aetis, you can see it coming at you.
I'm going to kind of like draw my bow and an arrow just kind of like at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, just don't act too aggressive just yet.
Yeah, it kind of whirls its way up and stops about 15 feet in front of you. And you can see it's this whirling cyclone that has a vaguely, like, purposed shape to it. You swear, like, some of the wind kind of focuses up, and the sand that's caught in the little spinning makes, like, facial features that kind of move.
But now the wind is looking at us.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch to primordial.
Okay.
Hello. I apologize. Are we trespassing upon your domain?
Why do you come here?
We're trying to go towards the ruins that are a couple of days south. We're tasked with finding out what happened there to some people.
It's dangerous.
Whispering isn't reading.
Yeah, it's got.
Oh.
It's
Sorry.
Oh, the microphone's
like
not
parcel.
picking it up.
Sounds like
it's
parcel
a little
tongue.
too whispering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just getting.
I don't speak
It's-
parcel tongue. Primordial.
Well, we don't. Yeah. Well, actually, I would sort of understand it, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, if you can speak primordial, then you get the sense of it, because he is speaking Auran,
Okay.
or it is speaking Auran, which is like,
Auran close enough.
which is a, yeah, you can get like most of the words out of it, I would say.
Okay.
You
So
know,
now
it's like
we say?
it's like you speak. It's like you're Brazilian and you're hearing Portuguese is kind of what it's like. But yeah. It's dangerous.
No shit.
What's there that makes it dangerous?
I don't know. I stay away. But I can tell you, it's not nice much farther in this desert.
Well, we've heard stories. Is there anything we should be on the lookout for?
Make a persuasion check.
Here we go, -1 in charisma.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Excited.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be.
So a 10. I don't know, really. I would look out for snakes, the little crawly things you have here. It's very weird here. Everything's earth. At least the breeze is nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's very warm. That's for sure.
I suppose.
Well, we have to keep going because we have to figure out what happened to these people, but I appreciate your warnings. We'll head on more cautiously.
You want? If you find any more like me, tell them to come this way.
You mean like away, or where's here?
This area.
Okay, I'll try to point them just, in your general direction.
Excellent. And it kind of flies about like 90 feet up in the air, and kind of you lose sight of it as the sand like gets ejected from it. So it's now like invisible in the air.
What was that? Why did it just... It said all those things. It was talking.
It was warning us that it's not safe on the way to the ruins, and that the ruins might not be safe as well. But, I mean,
Well,
figured as
we knew that. We knew that. There's a bunch of dead people there.
Fair. But he also asked that if we meet any more wind elementals to send them in his direction. I guess maybe he lost track of his friends? I don't know.
What
Did he
are they planning to do?
I would imagine.
Dusty. We'll call him Dusty.
I hope
I knew a Dusty once. I didn't like him.
Well,
I knew a woman named Dusty.
or Sandy. We don't know the
Yeah.
gender of
I
the.
have a strong
of
opinion
the
one way or
thing.
the other.
It doesn't matter. I guess they're.
So this creature has flown off. And you continue on heading south. For a few more hours, the sun eventually begins to get exceptionally warm. You have a feeling you're nearing midday or so. Are you going to carry on through this heat, or are you going to rest for a bit?
How's everybody feeling?
Hot.
I don't know. How am I feeling?
I know. How are we feeling?
Yeah.
So at this moment in time, it is not exactly. It's oppressive, but it's not unbearable. I would
That
equate it
implies
to being.
future unbearability.
I mean, I would equate it to being about 105 degrees Fahrenheit with no humidity.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it is not like super painful.
I got the impression earlier. I think I made a note that you had told me that Spoot wasn't doing so horribly in the heat.
Yeah, you're not doing bad in the heat. You kind of like the amount of warmth, actually. It feels refreshing to you.
Am I moving
Is he
a
like
little
a
bit?
troll? Is he like a Terry Pratchett troll, where he speeds up, where it gets
Yeah.
hot?
Am I moving a little more briskly in the warm sun,
I mean, like opposite.
You're a little bit more animated,
Oh.
yeah.
or do I want to like take a nap?
Is he doing like calculus suddenly?
Uh,
My intelligence is not that high.
Spoot already knows
Hey.
like intro to calc, so it shouldn't be too hard for him.
Oh, he's smarter than I am.
Huh.
Well, you've got like a 14 intelligence, so yeah. I would say you've taken algebra.
There's a lot of higher mathematics in the swamp.
Oh, 12. Well then, yeah, you've got to see an algebra.
Algebra 2.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
There you
I
go.
forget things.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject of my intelligence, is there something that I can do? Can I check my knowledge of memory, maybe of like desert knowledge?
You can
I've
make a
s-
nature check, yeah.
I seem to recall me saying something about desert and also giving us a heads up of its weather change, but now I'm questioning everything.
Yeah. So with an 11, Spoot, you remember that Mies said the desert gets hot, and especially in the middle of the day, especially in the deep parts of the desert. Like the deep parts of the desert were really, really, really hot.
Did I just? It's okay if the answer is yes. Did I just metagame the fact that deserts are cold in real life? So I just made Spoot say that.
No.
Or do I have any reason to believe that in this world deserts all cool at night?
No, like normally as far as you know, a desert should be cool at night because there's nothing to retain the heat.
Because
and
there's no humidity.
Yeah. There's nothing to
Okay.
keep the heat on the air. But your friends all told you that this desert, for whatever reason, was still warm last night while you slept.
It's a bit on Spoot's mind, I think, not because he can't be wrong, but he doesn't like to be wrong because he wants to know why he's wrong. So I think he's a little preoccupied with that.
Cool. So, are you going to continue on through into the afternoon, or are you going to rest for a little bit?
Do you guys feel like you can keep pushing on?
Yeah, just I'll take a little sip of water and yeah.
We
whatever.
may as well get
Sure.
as far as we can. Surely we'll need the time later.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, how about we take like a 5-minute water break?
Sure. Is this still south?
Sure.
And at least the water won't evaporate inside the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Also true.
Everyone take 15.
Yeah. All right.
break.
You all take your 15-minute union sanctioned break, and you rest up a little bit.
Anyone got donuts? Donuts, anyone?
If only there was a blue tiefling around. They always have baked goods.
Oh, but They might be squashed and really gross, but they'll be there.
Yep.
Or just super moldy because they were forgotten about for
A few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you won't notice on black.
But indeed, you all take a little break, drink a little bit of water, and you feel much better afterwards. So, what will you do next, my intrepid adventurers? Will you carry on to the south?
Push forward.
we're gonna carry on.
Is that
What
way
else are we
south?
gonna do?
Great.
No, that's south.
Not that way, that way.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna you were gonna have a keen mind, Grrrig.
Cool.
No, I'm not paying attention.
Cool. I would like
Just following along.
I would like somebody to roll me a D100, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh Jesus!
Oh dear.
Amber
I wanna
should do it.
Oh, Defect beat me to it. Oh, it's not bad. I don't
Oh.
think. I don't know. I can't tell.
I'm always nervous
Okay.
with random D100s. I don't
All
know
right,
what
cool, cool, cool.
Quick
Uh,
on the draw.
Very cool. So as you walk and kind of make your way going to the south, Aetis, you see on the horizon a small puff of sand and a weird little and the puff of sand is like following something in a weird way, and you realize that whatever the thing it's following in is moving in the direction of that the wind is blowing, and you see this little thing kind of get closer and closer, and then you see it jump kind of off of a sand dune, and you lose sight of it for a moment, and then you see a big cloud of sand kind of blow up, and you hear, even though it's probably like 200 feet away, you hear kind of an echoey "Ah!
An echoing what?
Ah!
One more time. I didn't hear that.
Ah!"
Does this sound like a familiar voice?
Make a history check.
I almost rolled my real dice.
Okay, yeah, with an 18, it sounds a lot like a kobold voice.
Is that Mies?
Mies is not the only kobold in the world yet. But I hope it's not Mies.
It sounded a lot like him yelling.
Do they all kind of sound the same?
Well, I mean, yeah, all the humans sound the same too.
And all the goblins sound the same, and I say that in goblin.
Grrrig rolls their eyes.
I only have turtle ears, so maybe it's not. I'm not the one to judge. I might have got a little sunscreen in them.
Oh, that burns.
Don't
Is
put
it-
sunscreen
is
in
it-
there.
Is it? What do you think's happening? Do we need to go? Should we go help? We should help.
I want to look a little bit closer.
Well, I don't think there's any harm in getting a little closer.
Okay, let's go.
It's a small puff of sand, right?
They sound in trouble?
He was yelling, so I don't know if he's being chased by something larger. If it is the Mies, I want to help. If it's a random kobold, I don't know.
We
Why
can still
not?
help.
Let's
We
find
can
out.
still
first.
help.
All right, so yeah, go ahead, make a little bit of an investigation check for me, Aetis. Great. So, following the noises, you're able to get on over there, and once you crest over a dune, and you can see there's like a deep track kind of in the sand that leads up to the edge of the dune. You're kind of going in the direction the wind is blowing. And you get up there, and you look over the dune, and you see what is definitely the crashed remains of some sort of vehicle made out of a couple of like old logs with like a weird like the pole in the middle that's kind of broken in half, and like some tattered leathers or burlap that's been stitched together in kind of a patchwork fashion. And next to it, cradling a broken like arm is a little tiny kobold, and it seems like it has a couple of like crates. There's like a crate with a skunk in one, and it's just kind of like trying to like rummage around, and it's kind of got a broken arm, and it's just kind of muttering to itself like.
Has to go. That's for starters, but you know. Does it look like a young kobold?
Make a perception check. Sure, go for it.
Sure.
Sure.
What I rolled.
Use the skill.
Just roll something.
Give me a second to figure it out.
So it's hard to tell, but you think it's an adult.
It looks injured, but it looks like it has some sort of sand boat.
That's
Is
good.
it all by itself?
It seems it, but it has a broken arm, so I don't know. But
Hello, Kobold, Grrrig says.
Ahoy!
So do you like do you call this from behind the dune, or do you like climb up to the top and like call down
Oh,
to it?
climb up.
Just hearing a random voice.
Yeah. I'm gonna climb up and say, hello, Kobold.
It turns and it looks at you and goes, ah! And Spoot, you hear, because it speaks in Draconic, you hear, ah, goblin! And it kind of runs to like the side of the busted up sand skimmer or whatever this thing is, and like tries to hide.
Grrrig, apparently you're frightening.
The only one who it's seen so far is Grrrig, so just know that.
But I did hear it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you heard it.
I'll trudge up and say.
And Defect, you heard it scream, ah, goblin!
Yes, Defect knows Draconic too.
Stop to resistance is futile.
This is your new master.
Does Grrrig notice that it's Draconic? / remember?
You know that kobolds speak that language, yeah. Because you know me.
Do I know how to say hello and
I probably taught
at this
him
point?
that word, right?
Roll a d20.
I feel like that's a basic one.
Yeah.
Hello, where's
Nope,
the
not
train
D29.
station? Where?
Dang it!
Surrender.
Yeah, if you get above a 5, you can say hello.
Surrender or we'll kill your entire family.
All right, yeah, so you can say hello in Draconic. Yeah.
Hola, donde está biblioteca?
Yeah, so the kobold kind of pokes its head out and in common yells, "What do you want, goblin?"
Grrrig, would you like me to take over?
I don't know. What do you say?
He said.
He spoke in
Oh
common.
yeah, he did speak in common.
Oh,
You're
right,
right.
he did speak in
Sorry.
common.
Yeah,
Never
he
mind.
spoke in common.
I don't know. We heard you scream.
Ask him if he's okay.
Are you okay?
I'm okay enough not for you not to eat me. Go away.
What? Goblins don't eat kobolds. I mean, okay, well, there's that one time that I think cousin.
That's what they all
cousin-
say. You'll never take Creek alive.
What? No, don't start that. Don't start that.
Now you're like 35 feet away on the top of a sand dune, and this kobold is just like hiding behind a broken like piece of sand skimmer.
Okay, listen. You have a sand skimmer. We're going in the sand. We'll fix it. You quit yelling. I'm not gonna eat you. I'm not even hungry.
We have good berries.
Blackberries.
Oh yeah. And there's other people. I said we. Did you notice that?
Who's
Are you
there?
smart?
Show yourselves. Creek must know.
I would like to crest the dune.
What was his name that he said?
Crick.
He's saying creek, so
Like a
Grrrig.
river? Smaller than a stream?
like a Tennessee creek.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Would you Kentucky or Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does Spoot do get climbing up a dune?
What?
Okay.
I just get on my stomach and it slides and I do the whole like
like a toboggan.
You do the shimmy.
or limb thing.
Can I ride you down?
I was about to say we might sweep down the
He's gonna think that
One person can ride
Spoot
Spoot down.
Grrrig can ride me down.
All right.
No one
My
else.
life.
So Spoot dives. You get sand all up in your grill.
Can we get fan art of that? So,
I just like
commission.
tuck my little arms inside, and I keep my head like slightly out so I can see. And I just.
I need to commission that as a drawing, please.
Aetis, you can see that the kobold is this Grrrig kobold is rummaging around in like the stuff that was thrown all over the place, like looking for something.
Grrrig, put down the skunk.
What do you
What
want?
are you looking for?
Leave Grrrig alone. This is my thing. Go away.
Grrrig,
Oh, we're gonna help.
Grrrig, watch
Here.
out. He has a skunk.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage, Grrrig.
Great. It's a 5.
That's pretty.
I don't trust you.
I'm not gonna eat you, I promise.
Have you all like made your way down towards him at this point?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, Grrrig, we have a friend that's a kobold. We didn't hurt him.
Oh yeah, do you know Mighty Me's?
He turns and looks at you when you say that. He's like, Grrrig knows me's. Every kobold knows me's.
Every kobold?
All kobolds I know me's.
He gets around.
Correct.
Grrrig, we're friends of me's.
Uh-huh. Ow.
Can I do a little medicine check while they're all bombarding him with
Yeah. With a 19, his arm is busted and it's like hurt really bad. Like he's in pain.
Grrrig, I would like to look at your arm. Is that okay?
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage?
I'm smiling really big.
You said Mees' name and that you were friends of Mees, so yeah, you can have advantage.
Yes, and I said please.
Okay. With a 15, he kind of okay, but no tricks. And you can see like in the hand of his broken arm, he's holding a little like clay pot.
Oh. Quick question for you. Is one of the uses of a healer's kit, since it says it contains splints and bandages and stuff, would be to mend a broken arm?
Yeah. And there's enough stuff around that you can use like debris or whatever to like set the thing. Like this thing is like half buried, the mast is broken, there's pieces of it all over the place.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure if healing word would like reset his arm, so I feel like there's a little bit more involved here.
I mean, make a medicine check to like reset his arm, and then healing word would probably heal him up. Yeah, so with a 12, you can get the bones lined back up, and then if you want, you could spend a healing slot. And
is he, with my combined medicine checks, is it gonna be okay if I don't spend a slot?
I mean, yeah, it'll just take the normal amount of time to heal up, but you can use stuff around to like splint up his arm and make.
You know what? What am I saying? Spoot would use the heal. I'm gonna cast heal.
Hey, just give him a good berry.
I don't think it works like that, does it?
No, it only gives him one hit point.
All right, I'm gonna say it in Draconic, so maybe it makes him feel better.
All right, yeah. So you set his arm, and he goes.
This is the best healing word you've ever cast on a total stranger with a broken arm.
And like his arm like flexes and like he moves it and he feels fine. And he's like, oh, not so bad, turtle guy. You got names? You got name, turtle guy?
Spoot. You can call me Spoot.
Spoot it is. Yeah, Spoot's nice. Yeah, look at that.
Thanks.
Grrig's arm.
Grrrig it was?
Yeah, Grrrig.
So, Grrrig, tell me, I think I'm still talking Draconic. I don't think I've switched because that's the last word I said. Or what was he speaking? Common to me?
Once you spoke Draconic, he spoke Draconic.
Okay. Grrrig, can you tell us a little bit about this contraption? And I'll sort of, nod to the rummage, the rubbit. I'm not trying to say.
Oh,
Debris.
yeah. This is Crick's sand skimmer. Built it myself. Took me 4 weeks. Now it's a pile of junk. I'll have to build it again.
Well,
It's a good idea. I make many things. I invented this, and I invented this, and he pulls out like 2 clay pots that are just like sealed.
Oh, that's
What's that?
Hey, we have someone in our party that's kind of a tinkerer. Maybe
Made this.
you,
And put out Chomper.
That's not aggressive at all, Grrrig.
I know. I'm gonna switch to common now.
Yeah, he moves behind Spoot's leg as Grrrig pulls out Chomper. Ah! Don't hurt
My
Grrrig.
mighty
Spoot
thigh.
mighty thighs.
Yes.
Make eyes, make lives.
What? No,
Grrrig.
it's just touch it.
Oh, it's okay, Grrrig. Grrrig.
No way.
Grigg's not gonna eat you. I promise. I haven't noticed them eat a single kobold in the whole time I've been with them.
Like I said, I only heard one story, and it was like my cousin's great uncle's great
I'm gonna
Grrrig, you're not helping.
I'm gonna go investigate some crates.
Grrrig, no, Grrrig, maybe you should stay.
Hey,
Grrrig,
stay out of my stuff, Goblin.
Hold. I saw a skunk earlier. Which crate is the skunk in?
This is getting out of hand. It's like
the skunk is like, you can't see the skunk. If wherever its crate is, it's either like half buried, or maybe the skunk got out in the crash and scampered off. You're not sure.
Okay, that's fine. I just don't want to deal with a fucking skunk.
Oh, I thought you wanted to track it.
Listen, it has prestidigitation, so we don't have tomatoes.
He actually looks around. He's like, Stripe's gone. Dang it.
Grrrig, would you like some help? Oh, sorry.
Grrrig, do you think you can fix the sand skimmer?
Crick can fix anything.
Well, Grrrig builds things and your arm is kind of broken, so you can show...
Crick's arm, fine. Spoot fixed Crick's arm. And he kind of waves his little arm around.
And then it cracks again.
The bone is just... No.
Grrrig will pull out their woodcarver's tool. Like, will these help? Or I could make... Hang on. You have to give me an hour, actually. Because I could make some carpenter's tools if you don't have any of your own. And then we could really probably get this going. Although I don't know if Grrrig is actually speaking sense if they say anything about like how to fix it.
Yeah, Crick kind of looks at you once you produce tools, and like he seems to be kind of like more like amenable once you like produce tools. Well, with more help, Crick can get this thing fixed in couple of weeks, couple of days maybe, if we get stuff quick. But need more stuff. Mast broken. Need to fix sail. Need maybe more nails.
Well, we don't have a mast that we carry around with us. Are there any areas with trees nearby?
Not in the arid not in wasteland, not in sand area.
Are you sure
I
there's
do
no way
have a
we
lot
can
of...
fix this mast without finding a new one?
You got any wood?
Rather a large
I got a lot
pile
of
of
wood.
wood in it.
I have 7 pounds.
Well, what's it look like?
Pull out a piece.
His eyes like light up. He's like, "Rrr!" And he like takes it and kind of goes over to the like busted mast. It's like broken in a couple spots. He's like, yeah. And he kind of like rummages around in the desert and kind of like puffs up big things of sand. Finds a little box, opens up the little jar, and it's got nails, and he just grabs a hammer and just starts randomly hammering this hunk of wood onto the mast.
Grrrig, can you just...
What does Grrrig think of this?
It looks like he's maybe attempting to repair it.
Tanner has a question.
Yeah, go for it, Tanner.
Could druid craft mend wood?
No.
It can grow plants. So I was
It
just
can
curious.
grow like a dandelion. It can't like grow.
Well, I didn't know, not like huge amounts, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
Like-
no, it's not that nifty.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a
I can
cantrip.
make a flower blossom, a seed pod sprout, or a leaf bud bloom.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those involves trees.
Oh, if only I had chosen mending as my other cantrip.
Right.
Now, mind you, most of this
Yep.
thing is still buried, like in the sand. He hasn't taken the time to dig it out. He just started hammering a piece of like spare wood onto like where the mast is broken.
I can dig.
You're so excited.
If
Can I make an intelligence, or like, can I look at this sand thing and see like what parts might need fixing and what might work more effectively? Like, if he looks like he's just hammering randomly to me.
Yeah, go ahead, make an intelligence check.
while they start fixing things up, Aetis is just going to start doing like a perimeter because I don't know what I'm doing other than keeping watch.
Sure.
Only a 10.
I'm gonna-
Look for
So,
the stone.
so with a 10, Grrrig, it seems like, to the best of your knowledge, the mast is broken in like two different spots. Imagine like a pontoon boat or like a Polynesian kind of style ocean canoe kind of deal.
Mhm.
You know, it's got two. It seems like it had two trees that were the pontoons, and then a mast in the middle with like planking kind of haphazardly across it,
Right.
and a sail. The mast is broken in two places. The planking is all over the place, and the logs are half buried in the sand and kind of in different angles. It's pretty much an entire rebuild at this point. But Crick seems to be excited that like additional wood will somehow make this way better.
Sure.
Wood is probably quite scarce here.
Well, I bet we can make it smaller. Like, some of the wood still seems usable. Maybe we can make it smaller?
No, I need it for all my stuff. Well, I guess I don't need it for Stripe anymore because I don't know where Stripe is. But
Maybe Stripe will come back.
maybe if he gets hungry and he's not eating. Oh well. And he just keeps hammering like bits of wood together, and like once the piece of wood you gave him is like in the mast, he goes around and like starts pulling like planks out of sand and like making a pile of stuff. There seems to be like very minor reason to it. But it's not like a well organized machine either.
Spoot, Grrrig, do you guys think you can use your collective knowledge to help him Defect dig things out?
I can dig. If you have an extra set of tools, I can assist in short increments of time
Right.
per day.
I mean, have you ever
Well,
read a book on boats? You lived in a swamp.
Do I know anything about boats?
You know probably a little bit about canoes. You can make an intelligence check with advantage to see what you might know about canoes.
Sand boats.
Yeah. Okay, with a 17, I will say that you know that the shape of a canoe helps it cut through the water. So maybe something similar might help this sand skimmer, as he calls it. Because right now they're literally just logs, like whatever logs he found, he just hammered into the position for this thing.
So we need to give it some
Like,
aero-
to the best of your knowledge, Spoot, it will take days to get this thing functional, and especially if you want to improve it.
Okay.
what time is it now?
It's like
8:15.
I would say it's around like 2 p.m. kind of. It's like early afternoon.
So I'm gonna go to Grrrig and say, perhaps I was a little overzealous with offering our help. I don't really think we're gonna be able to accomplish this short of like several days. So maybe we can help him dig the boat out of the sand and hatch a few things that you can do quickly before we make camp. What do you think?
Sure. Or I mean, because we also need to know more about the desert. Is this a person who actually knows anything about the desert? Because all of us are just making things up about the desert. So shouldn't we talk to him so
Perhaps
we could help for a while?
Yeah, perhaps with a little help tonight, we could persuade them, maybe even to join us. I don't know if they're going to want to stay and finish this.
Oh, I've seen that look in people's eyes. They're not going to leave.
So they'll be here till it's finished. Okay, well.
But we could stay and help and talk.
Yeah, but for tonight only. I don't think it's wise to stay beyond that because even with all of our help, it would take several days, I think. It did take him weeks to do this in the first place. But I will try to offer him some advice, maybe, if we can help guide him in what to fix for the future.
Sure.
Great. So he is happy to take whatever help you give him. Now that you have shown interest and knowledge about this kind of thing, he's all about it. It's just my question is, how long are you staying to mess around with this kobold and help him?
Till it gets dark, and then we all camp together.
That's fine with me. We're not really in a rush at this, and it seems like a good opportunity to find things out that desert.
We can offer him some good berries.
Well, so over the course of time, you successfully dig out all of the lumber and all of the logs and everything and kind of get it sorted, and he starts hacking away. How much of your 7 pounds of wood are you offering to him?
Well, Aetis, I have 96 arrows in here as well. Do you need any of this wood for arrows?
I also have 20, so.
Okay, great.
I think we can spare the wood.
Yeah, the only part is for fire if we were going to worry about that, but we also have 3 bundles of firewood, so
let's keep the firewood. Just give him the treant wood.
That sounds good. Here you go.
Oh yay, more wood! I can patch stuff up with this. And when he fixes things with this wood, it's he just saws off a piece of the wood that you gave him and just hammers it onto to kind of scab over any broken wood. That's all he's doing. It's the most roughshod repair.
Can I pull him aside and very gently just offer him some general advice on how a boat might be shaped?
Yeah.
Or should I just pull an insight check and say, is it even possible to convince him? Is he going to get it?
Yeah, you give him tips and tricks, and he's like, oh yeah, good idea. And he goes with it.
All right.
What about if you put the wood over the break and then wrap it up with something? Will that help? Hold it all together? I don't know.
I don't know. You got any stuff to hold it together?
Where's...
I don't have any other leather. All my burlap and leather is in the sail.
Yeah, you're gonna need that for the sail.
I have my rope, right? Isn't that part of...
Do you want to give him all of your rope? Because you can.
I mean, I have rope too, so I think everybody has rope.
Right, everybody typically has rope. So I will give some rope.
All right, yeah. So take the rope off.
Rope.
Okay, great. Take 25 feet off your rope.
Cool.
You hand it over to him, and he just starts wrapping things with it.
Well, not things. Wrap where it's broken. Put the wood on, and then you wrap it up with the wood up and down it.
Ah, okay, I get it. Yeah. Sand skimmer will be fixed in no time. Now,
Sure.
mind you, you've been helping him for hours. He's hammered a few boards together, and the mast is still half toppled over. Long story short, it's going to take him a while to fix this thing.
If we're lucky, maybe he'll shave a few days off his 4-week timeline.
Yeah.
Right. Should we help with the mast, getting it up? Because he can't do that by him.
Yeah, you can help him get the mask back into place, which he just, again, kind of just scabs together and then, like, wraps with rope.
Cool.
Poke gently at some of those crates that are strewn about.
Yeah. You help gather the crates Kaerlie, and they're just full of, like, you know, desert rations, which seem to be like whatever animals he might have scavenged or found, just kind of stuffed in boxes. Not really dressed very well or preserved. Just kind of carcasses.
Cool. Got some boxes of dead things here, guys.
Oh yeah? What's in there?
That's my food.
Dead things.
Don't touch.
Oh, okay.
I'll need it for my epic journey.
Epic journey.
Yes, I will
Where-
leave the desert.
You're leaving the desert.
Oh
Are
yeah.
you from the desert? Do you know stuff about the desert? I don't like the desert, I don't think.
Oh yeah, I'm tired of this place. Quick out.
You're tired of it. Why are you tired of it?
Used to be fun. Used to be warm. I mean, I guess still warm. But now, ever since the boss came, ugh. You said you know Mies. Mies told you, yeah?
Yeah, he did tell us about the desert. Say, if you're just looking to leave, I know we spent a lot of time trying to fix your skiff, but would you like to just come with us? We're not leaving immediately, but
No.
eventually.
We're going further.
We're gonna go kill the boss.
Yeah? Okay. Have fun.
Okay.
I'm
Well, if
staying
you-
with my
You met
boat.
the boss?
I'm staying with my
Does the
skimmer.
boss have a weakness?
What?
If you get out of here, you should go look up Mies in Red Sand.
There's a mine.
Ask
Mines
him
are
about
okay.
ruins.
Yeah, do you know anything
Oh,
about these ruins?
He's
He
speaking in
speaks
common,
common.
so you can ask him.
Aetis is like perimeter keeping watch. He's not super close.
Okay,
Okay.
good to know.
Have you ever been to the boss? Have you met him? Is he in the ruins? Does he
Yeah.
have any weakness?
Mm. He's big dragon.
What is?
How big?
Bigger than you. Bigger than kobold.
Yeah, well, it was big.
Other kobolds like him because he's like strong and whatever, but Crick got tired of always being told what to do. Crick just wants to make things. So Crick left and made this. Been sailing desert for 3 weeks.
Crick, do you know how to get out of the desert? Like, I mean, do you know what direction is out?
Well, yeah, but only problem with Sand Skimmer, you can only go the direction of the wind.
Have you?
But
Yeah,
eventually, it will lead me out of desert.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, eventually you'll find the ocean,
Yeah, it's somewhere.
and then maybe your boat can float.
Yep.
I
Perfect
don't think
plan.
that. In hindsight, that's not a good idea, Skiff. Crick, don't put that in the ocean.
Ah, it's perfect. Perfect plan.
Please don't do that.
Well, if you want to like go in the direction of out, it's that way where we came from. But you know, if you want to like go
Yeah.
on an adventure and keep following the wind that keeps changing, it's really weird. Then you know that's cool.
Yeah, sailing, sand sailing at night tends to go that way. And he kind of points north, kind of northeast, northwest.
Oh, good. That's kind.
But not
that's-
every day, just some days.
Okay. Well, you should try to travel on those days.
I travel
That's the
every day, because if I travel every day, I'll get out sooner.
That's not how that works.
Yes, it
If
is.
you're going the wrong direction, then you'll end up deeper.
I'll just end up somewhere else. But I'll get out.
Well,
Okay.
if you're okay with ending up somewhere else, then I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm a little more goal oriented.
He kind of looks to the sand skimmer's like, I've made that. That's my goal.
Oh, well, if that's your goal, then ta-da. Maybe you have to pick a new one.
Gonna be
To
great.
get out of.
I will get out of here. I'm gonna get out of the desert. It's gonna be great.
Grrrig, I hope we meet again.
Okay. So eventually it begins to get dark. Are you going to hang with Grrrig for the evening?
Yeah, we'll camp here, I think.
Great.
Might as well.
Cool. So you set yourselves up. Grrrig seems like he's going to work a little bit into the night. But it is up to you what you do.
Well, we didn't learn anything much.
We're deciding what watch to take. It may be a little early for that. Spoot will recommend that he takes the first watch because he wants to experience the not so dramatic change in temperature at night.
All right, cool. So you decide to take first
alarm.
watch. Yep, you set up your alarm spell, no problem.
Are we going to do a fire tonight? Should we ask Grrrig if it's safe, if he thinks it's safe?
He shrugs.
Have you been making fires at night, Grrrig, or no?
No, I'd have to burn my boat.
You don't, yeah. Well, you don't need it. It's not cool, is it?
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll just eat rations and good berries again, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't need to eat rations, you just eat one good berry and you get your daily caloric intake.
Well, if that's the case, then I think we can give our new friend Grrrig here just a couple of rations to help him on his journey.
All right, yeah, you give him however many rations you choose.
It's so nice.
Try this berry, it's delicious.
Defect, I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
What? Oh no.
Ooh, okay.
Random.
Oh no.
All right, you're fine.
22?
Yeah, you're fine.
Do I notice anything weird though?
Yeah, did I feel something?
You notice that, like, as you're kind of settling in for the evening, like, the back of your shoulders, like where
Oh, that's
your
better.
hair has sprouted, feels warm.
Oh, who's burned or wood burned?
Yeah. Am I rusting? Am I?
In a weird, like, your shoulders being made of stone and metal and wood, they do seem to have like a slight, I don't know, for lack of a better term, glow. It's not giving off light, but they do look a little red.
Did he not buy the June?
Maybe you should use some more screen.
Did he not buy the desert clothes too?
No, he did. Essentially, he saved from like having a really bad sunburn. So that's, you know.
You've got machine sunburn.
We'll go parasol shopping in the next town.
There you go.
Get a parasol that turns into a great axe.
Right?
You're
There
now
you
the
go.
penguin. Barbarians. Defect, if you want, you can borrow my hat and I'll just put extra sunscreen on my head.
That would be most kind, Spoot.
All right, here you go.
Sombrero and
All right, great.
on me.
Quick, Tanner, look up robot with hat.
I was already on it.
All right, well, you all settle in to begin your night of rest, and that is where we are going to take a little 5-minute break. So we will be right back, everybody. We're going to take a little bio break, and until we return, we'll see you then. Thanks, everybody, and we'll be right back.
Woo-hoo.
Woohoo.
Hello, everyone. We are back. Thank you for waiting. We are picking up right where we left, which is it is nighttime. It is time for some watches. Meanwhile, little kobold Grrrig is hammering away on his little sand skimmer.
Grrrig, can you just
Is he going to do that all night long?
You don't know.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I put him in a sleeper hold. Shh.
Just kidding.
You could have sent your tent up a ways away so that like you're not, you know.
Do you guys want to set it up a little bit away, like within like we can still see him, but like
I just assume not listen to hammering all night.
that too.
Yep. All right.
Aetis
So
pulls
you
out
set
his
yourself up wherever you want to set yourselves up. It's fine.
Top of the dune.
Yep. Go ahead and first up let me just, unless you want to do anything during your watches, nothing of import happens over the course of the evening.
Okay.
Cool. The dune doesn't shift under us or anything.
Nope. Perfectly fine.
There's not a blue dragon chasing after this kobold who's trying to defect from his army.
Apparently not.
Good.
At least not that you know about. So you all wake up. You've had a long rest.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. Grrrig, Grrrig only like kept working for another couple hours, and then he kind of like went to bed and kind of curled up on top of his like pile of wood, and woke up a little bit before you guys and started going back at it.
Gonna watch this guy carpent, or are we gonna move on?
Well,
I want to push on because clearly, I mean, he's cute but useless.
I'm going to ask for just a few minutes. I guess I'll go to Aetis. I think Spoot has sensed that Aetis is usually in charge of determining when the party moves. And ask for just a few moments to go have a little meditation.
Yeah, that's all part of your normal morning stuff. No problem to do that.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would like to go say bye to Grrrig.
Yep. He waits. He's like, okay, bye. Thanks for the wood. Don't get eaten.
Walking away. That's not meditation.
Meh.
Well, he said I already did it.
If you would want to. If you want to, it just to be known that you do so, you can. That's totally
Oh,
fine.
yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a morning thing.
All right, yeah. So part of your morning meditations and prayers is you kind of go off on your own and select your spells and meditate and pray to your deity.
Why is everything terrible?
However his name is spelled. I would like to go give,
Farlangen.
if he wants it, 3 of my rations.
Oh yeah, he'll take them. Oh, thanks. Thanks for
Yeah,
the food.
great.
Thanks for the wood.
I got a feeling you'll be here a while. And listen, if you ever find yourself far east of here in the swamps, and you come upon any other turtles, let them know that you know Spoot. Maybe they'll offer you some hospitality.
Okay, you got it. No problem.
And yeah, be careful. Okay?
Yeah. You all be careful too. Even the goblin. Don't get eaten. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
And
Bye.
he just like keeps hammering nails into wood for some reason. And you leave Grrrig and his sand skimmer behind and continue southwards. Aetis, go ahead, give a survival check.
I tried so hard to help.
You did. You helped him a lot. He was very thankful for your help.
Spoot's still aiding me as normal.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm going to assume that unless Spoot says I'm not going to help you navigate, that Spoot is helping you navigate.
I'm mad at Aetis this morning. I'm just
Yeah, with a 23, no problem whatsoever. Does everybody put sunscreen on and all that jazz today?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Great. Cool. Does Defect put on sunscreen today, or does he go without?
Got the hat?
I mean, I have the hat.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, does the sunscreen help?
Yeah.
Well, let's put it on your back. The part that was feeling weird. Here, I got some.
So here's the deal with the sunscreen. If you don't use the sunscreen, you have to make a Constitution saving throw at the end of the day, or you may be sunburned.
I just wasn't sure because I'm not like everyone else here. I am.
You are. You still count as a humanoid, so
Okay.
deal with it.
Is Grrrig still carrying around parts of Defect?
What? You don't know anything about that.
Hey, Grrrig, are you still carrying around bits and pieces of Defect?
You know nothing.
Yeah, you don't know anything about.
I don't?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought that was happening when we were doing the. Never mind.
Yeah,
I
no.
might have said it, but Grrrig didn't say it.
They did that in a private moment, but that's okay.
I don't know anything. I thought that was for some reason. I don't remember.
No problem.
Ignore me.
Nah. That's a secret.
Uh,
Although, fair point. Is Defect doing okay?
Defect seems unchanged.
Okay.
Yeah. So you all move on. The morning goes by without issue. Yeah. In the afternoon, you notice that it just becomes exceptionally hot and oppressive, like even more so than it has been. And I would like everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Ooh. Oh dear.
All right.
Kaerlie and Aetis, it is
Not
exceptionally
feeling so good.
hot, and you guys just get hit by the heat and the sand. You both suffer a point of exhaustion.
Oof.
A bit of a rest.
Yeah, it's like early afternoon by this point when you've been walking for a couple more hours into the desert after your midday rest. And so it's just been hard going with all this heat and sand. I also need 2 people to roll me a D100, please.
Haha, I did it.
Great. Kaerlie, as you are kind of like looking down and dragging yourself along, in a little bit of shade cast by a sand dune, you see something kind of strange. You see a single blooming purple and orange flower.
Don't touch it.
What kind of flower that is?
Make a nature check.
Don't touch it. Don't go near it.
There was some kind
Well,
of
I ain't
special
touching it. I'm
flower
just
though.
looking at it.
You've never seen a flower like this or heard of one described this way. But it's weird because it's just growing out of the sand.
Take me.
Has anyone else seen it?
I have an herbalism kit.
Kaerlie's the one who actually sees it, so
Okay.
if she points it out.
See that flower there?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I'm not touching it.
Don't go
I'm
near
not
it.
Grrrig. I'm not touching it.
Walk around
I'm
it.
just looking at
I
it.
didn't touch anything. Hang on. Let me come look.
It might chase you.
Yeah, it is not a massive thing. It's like the size of a daisy. It's just got big, broad green leaves, and the petals are like this orange and purple kind of streaky, twisted vibe going on.
Hold on. Before anybody does anything, wait, is anybody going close to it?
I would like.
I mean,
closer look
Kaerlie
at
was
it.
like 10 feet away when she noticed it.
Yeah, I'll go stand with Kaerlie.
Hold
I haven't
on
gone any closer to it.
1 second, and I'm going to shoot an arrow very close to the flower and see if anything happens.
All right, you line up. Ding! There's now an arrow buried halfway in the sand next to a flower.
Did you think that was going to help?
Oh, I didn't know if something was going to pop out at, something landing very close to it.
What's up, Spoot?
Sorry, I just don't get to use these kits very often. Using my herbalism kit, can I try to identify it?
So herbalism kits are for like making potions and like using stuff like that to create other things. They're not for necessarily identifying what something is.
Maybe I'm not proficient in it, but I thought I was, because according to this, proficiency with the kit lets me add my proficiency bonus to ability checks used to identify.
Oh, well then sure, yeah. If you're
I'm actually proficient with it.
If you're proficient with it, then yeah, you can do that.
I mean, how would I know?
It doesn't look anything like the sand spike Una was showing me. What does it?
It would be under your proficiencies. It would say herbalism kit.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Okay, great. Then yeah, go ahead. Try to identify this flower.
Cool. What do I use then to identify? Fortunately, nature. Okay. Yeah. Which I'm already proficient in, so I don't know if that actually helped.
Yeah, great, cool. So with a 24, you can definitely tell that this flower is a Sunday flower.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Fun day?
It is a Sunday flower.
Okay, and do I know anything about it? Like, is it safe to harvest?
It's benign as far as you know.
I will pick it.
Cool. You pick it, and the second you pick it, a new flower kind of comes up, opens up, and blooms where it was.
Oh, am I surprised?
Yeah, because
cool.
The Sunday flower has no magical properties that you are aware of.
I'm gonna leave well enough alone and be happy that I was able to get one and there's still a flower for someone else.
Great.
Is it supposed to do that?
I have never seen a plant do that before, but
me either.
I think we'll just keep moving on. Best not tempt fate.
This is a weird desert.
Does it smell pretty?
Yeah, it's pleasant.
Spoot?
To Spoot? I don't know.
Spoot,
no?
Since you're holding one?
Yeah, it's got a pleasing smell. The weird thing about it, Spoot, is that they don't grow in the desert either. It's weird.
Nothing grows in the desert.
Yeah.
That is weird. It looks healthy, I'm guessing too, yeah?
Yeah, it seems to be perfectly fine.
I tell you what, I'm going to pitch this to the group. Spoot's going to come back and say, obviously explain what happened with the flower growing back. The inquisitive part of me wants to sort of dig the sand around this flower and see what's down there, but the cautious side of me says maybe we just leave it alone.
Didn't hurt you once.
Leaving it alone, because
there's
a lot of dangerous things in this desert, and something that seems benign isn't always.
On the other hand, presumably it has a water source.
We have enough water.
Yeah, we have a lot of water. Although I don't want to know if this is a weird mystery. Are you going to keep that flower?
I'm going to keep
the flower normally grow?
In forest? Question mark?
Yeah, normally in like a temperate forest.
Okay. Yes, I will say that more confidently the second time.
Wait, if it's been in temperate forests, would I recognize it?
Yeah. Make a nature check.
I am not good at those.
I didn't know what it was.
It's a very rare flower. It's not a common flower. It is very rare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Aetis, you've never seen it.
No.
I will tell him, don't worry, it's very rare. It's even more rare that we found it in the desert, which obviously I have some
now
questions.
that you've had it picked for a few minutes, Spoot, it has the flower that you have has started to succumb to the heat, and it's like drooping and like wilting, like as any flower that is in desert with no water would do.
Same flower, same.
Yeah.
You're a druidy thing.
Grrrig, we
Right?
should. Yeah. Can
Kaerlie?
work?
I can do a druid thing, yes.
But like, is a druidy
can-
thing that you make them grow? So do we think there's like magic making this grow?
Is there
I mean, maybe. I can make flowers blossom. I'm not familiar with that particular one, and I certainly didn't do that. But that's a thing I can do.
Did not prepare detect magic last night. Otherwise, I would use it right now.
Neither did I.
There are a lot of offensive and defensive spells instead.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Can I just like look?
Heck has a point.
Yeah, it's a flower, and well, there's two flowers. There is one that Spoot has picked, which is in his hand, and there is one that is growing in the shadow of a sand dune.
So, Kaerlie, if you can revitalize this flower a bit, you should try it. If not, I'm going to stick it in the bag of holding to preserve what little bit is left, and then perhaps we pick just one more flower and immediately put it in the bag of holding. That does work, Dad, right? Will it preserve it?
Grrrig, you can make an intelligence check.
I'm just guessing.
19.
So there is no air in the bag of holding, but there's no like stasis field in there either. If you put like meat in there, it will rot. So plant life will also rot.
Okay.
Cool.
Right.
Presumably slower.
I can cast
Does
some
it have-
druid craft on it to perk it up, but I don't know how long lasting that is.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like
seem, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be unnatural in its wilting. It's just it's a plant that you plucked, and it's now
Right.
it's now in desert.
I cast Spare the
why can't
Dying.
you use your
Okay. The
Use
the
your
flower no longer
herbalism
has to
kit.
make death saving throws. Well done. And it cannot be turned into a zombie.
Can't you use your herbalism kit to like, keep the essence of it? Like make a scent or something. If there's some reason you want oils, isn't that like a thing people do?
I mean, we can dry it.
Correct. I'm guessing at this point. Defect has a good point. Perhaps in my kit, I just have a way to preserve it, and we can just move on.
Yeah, you can squash it between a couple pages of a book.
Great.
I have a book. I'm carrying a book.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have a book.
Many of you have books or journals or whatever, so you can just plunk. Great, done. The battle of the flower is over.
DM, you have to
But
stop leaving things like this for us.
Why is the flower growing? We'll
Just
never
kidding.
20 minutes later, we've
know.
moved on from the flower.
We'll never know, but I'm going to take...
You can investigate more, like if you want to dig down.
Yeah, can I I want to look around a little more, look around, because if I'm thinking it's magical, can I make an Arcana check to try to figure out if it's magical, looking around for...
You can make an Arcana check, sure.
Okay. It's 12.
With a 12, it's acting weird. Like, you saw the bloom just grow back after Spoot picked it.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Perhaps,
Alright,
we
I
kinda-
think this is weird. It's a little too warm, and now there are flowers growing. I don't like it. It used to be fun. What does used to be fun mean?
Random question. I'm sure the answer is it's a desert.
Yeah.
But are there any landmarks around?
Make a perception check, Spoot. Yeah, so you can see off in the
Sand.
distance, there are big towering sand dunes all over the place. But you do also see a couple of stone markers that Aetis has been following that purportedly lead to the ruins. You were all told about this back in Red Sand. They're few and far between, but you can see that there is a big stone pillar probably about 700 feet away.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to make a note about the flower and sort of very general area in which I found it.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe
Do
it
you
will be a
do you
useful
continue on?
information. I think if we believe it's wiser to not tempt fate, and I mean, maybe there's no harm in digging around this, but I think
I
I'm happy.
really want to, but fine. Fine.
You can if you
Well,
want.
I tell you what, Grrrig, come with me. We'll go over there, and we'll gently.
I have tools.
I'm a knowledge cleric after all.
Yeah.
I guess they're good for digging. I don't know. I'm a swamp turtle.
Yeah. If you don't want to touch like something, if you're worried about this,
Oh.
use some of my tools. I got like a crowbar we can scoop stuff out with.
So as you
Yeah,
two
we can-
dig, you can make an investigation check with advantage.
Yes, please. Give me that. 22.
All right. So it doesn't take you very long to kind of unearth the area around it. Like, are you digging up the root of this thing, or are you like digging around it?
Around.
As if you're like gonna pod, like just scooping stuff away from the edges.
So
of
keeping
it,
so
right?
keeping like a 2-foot perimeter kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
like a circle around it. Yeah.
Cool. So you dig down. It's a little tricky because it's sand, but you manage to dig down about like 2 feet down. You find like a weird bit of white, and you clear it off a little bit, and it's a leg bone.
What you doing?
We found a leg bone.
Yeah, and as you kind of clear more sand, you can see that there's more of it kind of going like in the direction underneath where the plant is.
Maybe you guys should stop digging?
It's a body growing a magic flower. We should keep digging.
I'm not so sure.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, nothing exciting has happened in a while, so
I mean, if
maybe.
we start digging up this flower more, Aetis is going to take like 10 steps back.
I'm gonna go to the other side of the flower and like dig like from the other end, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
direction that the body might be.
Yeah,
I know-
digging on the other side, digging down a little bit, you find like a jawbone, a mandible.
What kind of jaw is this? What kind of nature things? What
I
kind
better
of jaw?
say, can I tell what animal?
Yeah, make a nature check.
It's like a terrible idea.
Well, it's not a
You were
person,
so
apparently.
bored.
Great. So with a
I'm digging.
24, Spoot, based on the apparent height of this skeleton and the jawbone structure, and you're a swamp turtle, you've seen a lot of bones, you've read about this stuff, you've done your biology and your anatomy research. You're pretty sure this is like either a human or a half-elf skeleton.
Oh, it's okay. It's just a human.
Yeah, that's less exciting. But also, why is the human body growing a flower?
Oh, what direction is it? Like upright, or
No,
just
it's
scattered?
like lying on. It's like on the ground. Like the flower seems to be like where like the rib cage would be, roughly.
Okay. I
Just like
really
above it.
had prepared. Really wish I had prepared tech magic last night. Yeah, Grrrig, I would love to know the mystery of this, but perhaps we'll just make some notes about where one might find this in the future, and we should maybe cover the remains of this body.
Okay, but can I just dig a little closer to like where the flower is? Maybe it's like an object in them that's like doing this and not their skeleton? Or maybe it's one of the
What? One of the
or maybe
what?
it's like some sort of like funeral rite that somebody cast because like the druid thing, right? Like with the growing the flowers thing. Like is it I mean, could that be it? Do you know, Kaerlie?
That's
you know
what
druids?
That's what I'm wondering. Can I see if it might be any sort of religious thing?
Make a religion check.
Wow, I'm not the best cleric.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm new to this.
You don't know anything about like this particular flower having any religious significance.
Okay. Well, I think maybe we should end our digging. I don't know if I feel comfortable disturbing these remains any further, especially if there was some ritual or rite that was used here for burial.
Hey.
I can't stop you, obviously, but I won't help you anymore.
Fine. Throw the sand back.
All right, so
Alright.
you recover you recover the plant, or the skeleton that the plant seems to be connected to in some way.
Greg's gonna pick the flower again.
You pick it, and another flower bloom.
Alright, I keep this one.
All right,
At least we think it.
you now have it.
That's so cool.
So
It
when
is
I die,
cool.
this is the next time I die. This is what I'd like you to do to me.
We're just gonna leave you that time. I'm
Just
gonna
stick
plant
her
one
in
of
the
these flowers
sand
your chest.
and
Flower
call it
heart.
done.
Put a seed in your chest and I'm a business.
All right. So you all continue on after a good 40 minutes of flower, sand, skeleton shenanigans. And
That's what it's called.
and you
The thing
your
Grrrig
way.
found.
yeah, you found some cool thing. And so you're walking, you're climbing over sand dunes, you're walking in between them. Aetis is unerringly leading you in the direction that you are sure to be going. And suddenly you all hear as the sand
Guys, what's that?
dune next to you, like the wind blew just enough, and suddenly the entire dune and begins to fall. All like thousands of pounds of sand begin to fall down on you. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
20.
Ooh.
Alright.
This is
Cause of
decent.
death.
All right, I got a 20 for Grrrig, I got a 19 for Kaerlie, I got a 12 for Spoot, a 20 for
no.
Defect, and an 8 for Aetis.
It's
Sorry.
so mad.
Aetis, you're supposed to be the, Legolas of the party.
Yeah, you have such a bonus on that.
And
All right.
Sorry.
Okay. So Grrrig and Kaerlie and Defect are able to kind of swim their way out of the sand as this dune falls over on you all, and kind of get their head above where the sand dune was. However, Spoot and Aetis are buried in the sand, and as such, Spoot and Aetis, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Yep, from all the sand falling and burying you. And you are now stuck. You are restrained by the sand. And you're...
All of us?
No. The 3 who succeeded, your heads are above the sand. You can get yourselves out.
But for asking.
Only Spoot and Aetis are buried, and they are beginning to suffocate because they cannot breathe from all the sand on top of them.
Can I tell where they are?
Make an investigation check, please, Grrrig.
As she,
19.
as Grrrig is doing that.
Yeah. Now,
dig up.
hold on, because this has now become a time-sensitive matter.
I'm looking at my new character sheets. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So-
cast a spell.
Yeah, okay. Grrrig, you start looking around. You're pretty sure you can see like 2 mounds that you're sure are... One is probably Spoot and one is probably Aetis. Kaerlie, what spell would you like to cast?
How far apart are they?
They seem to be about 10 feet apart.
Cool. I'm gonna cast a dust devil over one of them, and it's going to suck up the loose material.
Great. How much does it suck up like per round or whatever? Does it say?
It doesn't say. It just says it sucks up the material and forms a 10-foot radius cloud of debris obscuring the area.
All right. How long does it last for? Is it instantaneous?
Up to a minute.
Okay.
Concentration
Great.
up to a minute.
Great. That will be helpful. So this dust devil appears and is blowing sand out. Defect and Grrrig, what are you going to be doing?
We'll dig at the other one together,
Yes.
and I'll get my
Great.
mage hand out, and it'll dig too.
Cool. You start digging. What, Spoot and Aetis, what are your constitution modifiers, please?
+1.
Great.
+3, and also I have a question.
Yes.
One of the features of being a turtle is I can, it's very vague actually, I can hold my breath for longer.
Yeah, you can hold your breath for an hour, right?
Yes.
It probably says like underwater, but I'm going to assume you can just hold.
Yeah.
I think you
it
can
just says underwater, but
yeah, I think you can just
Hold
hold your
breath.
breath. I don't think you have to be underwater to hold your breath.
Okay, that's what I wanted to do.
That would be dumb.
Exactly.
So,
This skill
yeah,
only works
you
when you're
can
submerged.
absolutely hold your breath. So, Spoot, you realize that you are buried and can barely move from all the weight of the sand. But you instinctively like hold your breath, and you're okay. And you feel like you can hear something above you. Aetis, you are a little bit concerned because you're not sure how long you can hold your breath. You might have a minute, maybe two. So Grrrig, go ahead, roll me a d6, please.
Okay.
Okay.
4.
Okay, great. So as Kaerlie's dust devil is spluing over one body, you and Defect rush to the other and begin digging out. I would like both of you to make athletics checks, please. Grrrig, you're using your mage hand, so you can do yours with advantage.
Sweet. 9.
All right, okay.
Better than a nat 1. Also pretty accurate. I mean,
Yeah,
only
you're digging, but
not
the sand is
negative.
like falling back in. Defect, you managed to get a good enough chunk out. You're kind of covering for Grrig's errors, but you know. Go ahead, give me another one for the next 30-second interval, the both of you. That's really great with a 19. Defect with a 17. Yeah. You guys pick up a rhythm and you are digging. Kaerlie, your dust devil vanishes after a minute. Are you going to cast it again?
Made any progress? Is it helping?
I mean, it has helped uncover some of the sand on top of one of the forms, but you don't know which one is which.
Right. Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. I'm just treating this thing as like a little like spiraling cyclone that's just
Yeah, I mean that's
spewing
pretty much
sand.
what it does. It's as it sucks up the cloud. I'm as it's fading, and then the cloud over there to settle
Yeah.
away from my friends.
Yeah. No problem.
I mean, I think in theory, if I get down to them, they might take some damage from it, but that's better than them drowning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm fine.
Cool.
Can we
I'm
tell
also-
at all made enough progress to see if like who this one is?
It's still a little ways from the top, but you're getting there. So cool. Eventually, Aetis, you realize that like you're out of breath. You're
I mean, isn't that after like 1 minute? 'Cause I think it's minutes.
yeah, it's a number of rounds or sorry, it's a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your con modifier, so you can hold it for 2 minutes. So you are out of breath. Defect and Grrrig, go ahead. Give me another athletics check.
Uh,
All right, with a
15?
15 and a 23, you guys are able to pull, or to get enough sand out. You can see what appears to be a bow sticking out of the sand. Aetis, I need you to make a death saving throw for me, please.
Natural 1, here we come.
Don't do it. Could.
Okay, that is a failure. Defect and Grrrig, you are able to, now that you've found the bow, you're digging down, you are able to get the sand off of Aetis, but he is unconscious and he is not breathing.
Well, I can fix that. Cure wounds. Level 1,
wounded?
'cause that's all I have.
All right.
11.
Great. Aetis, you breathe out this sand that had like gotten into you, so you now have 11 hit points. Meanwhile, you've had to recast Dust Devil a 3rd time. By
Is it
this
working?
point, Kaerlie. It does seem to be working. Like there's a pit that appears to be digging down, and if you want to cast it a 4th time, you can. But you see it is starting to wave away.
We can
Could
go
I run
dig.
I'm out of that level of spell slots.
That's
Okay.
fine. We'll dig.
Sadly.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Would
the other two can go ahead, do a dig check, athletics check.
would with the sand being removed from above me, would that make it where I could move at all
Go ahead,
and,
make a perception check at disadvantage.
and do some digging?
Yeah. So about now, Spoot, you can kind of start to begin moving, but you still have a lot of sand on top of you.
But I'm gonna start digging.
Yeah, you kind of start very awkward turtling your way through the sand.
I know I'm not a sand turtle, but I'm gonna try.
Luckily, Defect like rage digs and gets the sand out, and you feel the pressure lessen as sand is removed from the back of your shell, and you kind of pop up and you go, whew. You can breathe just fine because you were holding your breath. Aetis,
Thanks, guys.
Aetis looks a little rough right now, and the sun is beginning to set after this crazy sand dune adventure.
Well, I guess we know how that guy died.
I hate the desert.
I don't mind it. I still think I hate the forest more. That tree and those bushes were pretty terrible.
But at least you didn't inhale it.
Well, yeah. Hot something
How
something. Hot
are you?
iron. Go gadget tent.
Yeah, great.
Alright.
All right, so you find a secure bit of sand and set up the tent. Well done, everybody. You survived. Cool.
Location.
Funnily enough, unless you want to accomplish anything over the night, I will tell you it passes uneventfully.
As long as it's a
It's
long
funny.
rest and I get my spell slots back,
You guys,
I'm cool with that.
you guys are getting really lucky on these like overnight D20 rolls. I just want you to know that, because I roll a D20 per watch, and if it hits a certain number, something happens.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
And I've been rolling really low on all of them, so
Good.
Huzzah!
you're lucky.
Okay.
Great. So,
I'm just
Hold
waiting
on.
for you to like roll for Tarask.
I don't think I have Tarask on this table, so I think you're okay.
But
But I could add one.
No.
You probably have a Draco Lich on that table, so.
I will neither confirm nor deny what I have on this table.
Roll a D1000.
Roll a D2. No, just kidding.
Oh gosh.
It's either good or bad. Okay, great. So the day has passed. Those of you who had a point of exhaustion, you no longer do. So good
Yay.
job. All your hit points are full. Your spell slots are back up to full. And you're essentially a day and a half into the desert now, because you spent half a day playing with Grrrig. So you figure like 2.5 more days into the desert, and you should be where you're going.
Cool.
On marching.
Yeah.
Sunscreening.
Aetis, yep. Everybody sunscreens.
Pile on the sun self.
Yep. Everybody sunscreens. So that's, I believe, 14 uses of the first jar of sun tincture. Or if you all have individuals, I don't remember exactly what you bought.
Oh, I started tracking.
Essentially,
I
each
have
jar
individual.
gives you 20 uses. So if you have your own, just keep track of it on your own thing.
Okay. Yeah, and I gave the defect one. I forget if we used it in the Arid Wastes. But we did it a day.
Yeah, you did
For
it. So
that day.
there was the day that you used it in the Snakelands.
Yeah.
And then you would have used it. Everybody would have used it twice in the Arid Wastes, except Defect, who only used it once.
Mhm.
Because Defect did not use it the first day in the Wastes.
He's a baller.
Cool. So I, by my reckoning, then had 50.
Great. I love it. All right, cool. Aetis, go ahead. Roll that survival check with advantage from the Spoot Meister. Yeah, with an 18, unerringly southwards you go. Well done. Yeah. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
As you march through this hot, oppressive desert.
Oh, I'm feeling a bit better today.
Wow.
Oh no.
Aetis,
I
once
hate
again,
desert.
this desert,
You're so
man, this desert is not working for you. You go ahead and take a level of exhaustion.
I'm just like, next long rest, I'm not even going to take the exhaustion off. I'm just going to leave it going.
Well, you take you take like a little breather in the middle of the day, but you kind of begrudgingly get up and lead your friends ever southward. Everybody go ahead, roll a Constitution saving throw for the afternoon.
I thought this clothing was supposed to protect us.
It makes it so you're not at disadvantage.
Oh,
That's something.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Okay, this time, like, Spoot, you've kind of been enjoying this heat, but it just hits you this afternoon, and you
Here,
take a
have
level of
some water.
exhaustion.
It must be all the sand that I inhaled.
Yeah. You little-
Level exhaustion.
You gotta
Cough up.
like shake out your shell to get it all out.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, you guys didn't encounter any crazy nonsense today.
This is
So,
ridiculous.
well
This
done.
is the best travel day ever.
Hey, Defect, if I lie on my back, can you, like, spin me real fast?
Of course I can. Get on
That'll
your-
knock some sand loose.
And then I'm gonna just spin him like a DJ scratch table. Just
Great. Spoot,
300
make a
pound
Constitution saving throw.
I don't know why I have to do that.
All right. Cool. Yeah,
At least you're
you're fine.
There's no vomit.
You cough up a few errant grains of sand, like, and blow them out through your nose during the process, but you're fine.
Ugh.
And like from the
Thanks.
bits in the side the shell. Come on.
Yeah.
Defect, I think I need help flipping over.
You found out Spoot's one weakness. His own shell. It's also his greatest ally.
Note to
And
self.
what happened to
Don't-
all this on his back?
I was gonna say, does he still have a pile of stuff strapped to his back?
I assume he took it off beforehand.
All right.
Yeah.
He took off the giant net.
He's generally wise.
You're not still carrying around his sword or staff or whatever the heck it was, are you?
Yeah, a
Spear?
spear? Yeah, it's still
Alright.
back there.
Yeah, you've still got the spear.
He didn't want it.
Well, he's a miner now, so what does he need it for?
Hey, he should have taken my pickaxe. I could have traded him.
All right. So the time comes to set up camp for their night the 3rd.
Cool.
Woohoo!
What is the watch order this evening? Just out of curiosity.
I can go first.
All right. Defect, then Grrrig, I assume.
So I'll
Yeah.
take the middle of the night since I can see.
And who will take 4th watch?
I can.
Cool. Great. Cool. Aetis, roll a D100 for me.
I don't like where all this rolling's going.
Actually, I kind of do. Pathfinder game uses a fate chart to determine outcomes, and it's basically just a bunch of rolling, and it's like, it's either really awful or slightly better than that.
Cool. Cool. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. So the first 3 watches go without incident, which is fine and Jim Dandy. Aetis, during your watch, I want you to make a perception check for me.
I'm still exhausted, correct?
No, you've had your long rest, so your point of exhaustion has gone away. Because you only got 1, you didn't get 2.
I'm not gonna remove.
So what's that perception check? 14. Wonderful. So with a 14, you think that you hear some music on the wind.
Does it sound like something music I've heard before?
Go ahead, make a history check. Right.
Sounds like bards. We should steer clear.
Great. With a 17, it's not any particular song, but it does have like a very common sort of cadence to it.
Is it country or western?
It's desertion, is what it is.
It's that song that Tyrions always sing in Game of Thrones.
But it sounds to you like it is moving. It's like a lyre or a harp or something like that. It's a stringed instrument. And it sounds like it is moving on the other side of a sand dune.
Do I hear this at all as well?
Make a perception check.
All right, Defect doesn't sleep.
Yeah, you can register that there's music. You don't get the details, but you can tell that there is a new stimulus out there.
Okay, so I kind of wake up from my sleep mode and walk over to. Do you hear that?
I do. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know necessarily what it is.
I'm sorry, Jared. You say it's moving away from us?
It's just on the other side of a sand dune. Like there's a sand dune between you and the source, as far as you can tell. And it does seem to be in motion.
Should we go check it out? Or, I mean, I don't. We don't have really good luck with these kinds of things.
We never do. Perhaps if we should wait till it comes up over the dune, if it does so.
Sure. That would probably be the best decision.
All right. A few minutes pass, and you hear the music kind of fading as it goes. It seems like they were going parallel to the dune and not coming up over it, whatever it was.
Should we get closer? Is that what we're doing?
I feel if it's moving away from us, we should not pursue it.
That's very fair. Yeah, let's just stay here for the evening.
I'll stay with you, just in case.
Okay. Wouldn't mind the company.
So Defect, if you don't return to rest mode, you will not gain the benefits of a long rest.
Yeah, don't take that exhaustion.
Which would mean 1 level of exhaustion, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. I'll turn to Aetis and say, never mind, I'm tired.
Don't worry.
And I'll just like kneel down next to him and just turn off.
Okay. Defect takes a knee and his head kind of slumps to his chest, and the color in his eyes just kind of fades off, and it's kind of unnerving just seeing him there as the wind blows the bristly hairs on his shoulders.
Aetis just like kind of takes his hand and just like, because like your eyes, they don't close, right?
Right.
Yes.
They just stop glowing.
All right. Well, the rest of your watch goes by without incident. So you can go ahead, wake everybody up. Everybody's got a long rest. Anyone who had exhaustion no longer does. And you have your
good?
spells and hit points.
Woohoo!
Spells and hit points.
I'm sure we'll mention the music to the group when they wake up.
Music? Who was it?
We didn't pursue it any further.
What? It's from over there, right?
Over the dune, yes.
Really
Did
good.
you
That's
see
how
any
the fairies
signs?
lure you in, you know.
All
Did we
right.
go see if there's signs of like who it was?
I
'Cause
mean,
if they're going like parallel to us, they're going the same direction.
Well, they went parallel to the dune, like the rise of the dune. Not necessarily parallel to your path.
Oh.
But you
What
can go. But
direction
you can
was-
go investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Make an investigation check, Grrrig.
Scramble, I invest.
All right,
Nice.
great. With a 19, you can see there's just the faint bit of a trail. You can't make out details because the sand and the wind has blown, but you can see that there is like a bit of a rut. It looks like a fairly sizable rut, actually. Kind of moving in like what Aetis would probably tell you is kind of a northwestern direction. But it also looks like it's kind of following the lines of in between dunes.
Interesting. And you say they were playing a musical instrument,
yeah,
and they're big,
not that bad, to be honest.
and they're going that way. Well, maybe they'll run into Grrrig.
I don't think it's him.
I don't think it's Grrrig, but maybe they'll run into Grrrig.
Maybe.
I hope they don't hurt Grrrig.
Me too.
Cut screen to Crick building away on his little sand skimmer, just happily hammering nails, and a dark looming shadow appears from behind him. And we cut back to you.
What?
Hmm.
Amber wants to know who it was so bad.
Maybe that happened, maybe it didn't. Who's to know?
You.
Maybe that's the delusion of Grrig's curious mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's just what Grrrig sees in their mind.
Thought bubble. All right. Well, I guess we just going.
All right.
Maybe I did like the forest better. At least it was interesting. Although that flower was cool.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, Aetis, go ahead. Give me your survival check at advantage to continue on. Great. 20, no problem. You know the way south. You pick out one of the couple of markers that's used, and you are able to make your way southwards, which is great. Fantastic. You head on down south. As you walk, around mid-morning, everyone go ahead, give me a Constitution saving throw. It is still hot and still gross.
Oof.
All right. Oof.
I beat
Jeez.
back. It turns into the
You
moon.
are not made for the desert, there are you, Aetis.
I tell you what.
And Spoot, go
Oh,
ahead.
me. Yeah, sorry.
Constitution save. All right.
Hey.
All right. Grrrig and Aetis, you two gain a level of exhaustion trudging through this hot desert wasteland.
Yep.
I hate the desert.
It is very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Oh boy. Would you like the hat?
Huh?
Would you like to wear the hat?
No, I'm wearing the hat.
It's gonna make that difference.
I know.
Yeah, and everybody, go ahead, mark off another usage of your sunscreen.
Would it help if I have Grrrig up on my shoulders?
I
So he's-
mean,
So I think
they
that's a
will
good idea.
still fail because they have, they're still in the heat. Like, you can't escape this heat.
Walking through the sand, it wouldn't give them advantage at least.
I would say it would have given them advantage, but even with a 10, they would have failed. So,
Right, but I mean just for next time.
yeah, for next time, you can attempt that, sure.
Good. Ooh, no.
But I would probably give you disadvantage because you're carrying. Well, no, you're strong, so that would be fine.
I'm fairly small.
Yeah,
but
no,
light.
defect would be fine.
Grrig's
It's
small.
not a big deal. Great.
You can carry me for 4 days.
so-
but shouldn't carry you for
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, it would be fine. So you carry on, and
I'll put Grrrig on my shoulders.
around mid-morning, Aetis, you see something in the distance. Maybe a few hundred feet away on another dune. You see some bright glinting in the distance.
Guys, do you see that? It's like shining a little bit.
Do we see that?
Yeah.
Once Aetis points it out, the rest of you notice it as well, yeah.
You mean sparkly bits? Is that just the sun, or is that?
It is like directly in front of you and not coming from the east, which is or the west or the east where the sun is right now.
Huh.
So, best of your knowledge, it's probably the sun glinting or shining or whatever, reflecting off of something.
We can go find out what it is.
Something shiny up there.
Is it direction we're traveling already?
It's a little off to the side, but more or less.
No.
We should pursue.
Probably wouldn't hurt to see what is out there.
Let's just maybe be a little bit careful.
Maybe we can send Kaerlie out in animal disguise to.
Ooh.
Do you know any desert
Yeah.
you can turn into?
Like a lizard, maybe?
Yeah. Or a snake?
Ooh, I could be a snake. I could be a snake. I can be a snake now. I can totally be a snake now.
I mean, if you're lucky,
I
they'll
haven't gotten to be a snake yet.
not try to kill you immediately.
Yeah, you want to turn into a snake? You can use one of your wild shapes and do that.
Yeah. Should I turn into a poisonous snake?
That sounds like a mythical creature that doesn't exist.
Yes, we all know snakes are venomous, not poisonous. But carry on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't be a flying snake yet, but I can be a poisonous snake or a constrictor snake.
It just
I'm
hurts.
gonna be a tiny. I think I'm gonna be a tiny poisonous snake.
All right.
We're breaking Mateo.
Yeah, sidewinder. The ones that actually travel well on the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all watch Kaerlie and all of her equipment shift and reduce in size, and suddenly there is a sidewinding snake that sends off a ways. So you head in that direction, Kaerlie. It's easy enough for you to follow that direction. It's not super far off, but you get there. Your friends do the rest of you like also approach, or do you just stay where you are?
How far away is it?
Probably a couple 100 feet.
Who's the sneakiest? Maybe Aetis can keep a safe distance.
I can sneak.
I'm very
It
in this heat.
pass out of the heat.
I'm very tired, but I technically am sneaky.
It's up to you.
I am not, so I will remain here.
I'll approach at least closer, like so that she's not totally out of sight and
Sure.
without.
You can all maintain a respectful distance. That's fine.
Okay.
Once you all are about 100 feet away, you can see that this glinting is in the direction of it's moving. It's kind of shuffling awkwardly, and there's a weird trail that Kaerlie, you kind of hop into one of the grooves, and it's almost like skis on snow. It's like the tracks you would leave if you were just like had your feet in the sand and were shuffling along instead of picking them up.
Mm-hmm.
But you sidewind your way up. Kaerlie, you're the first one to get close enough in your snake form to notice that it appears to be a humanoid, kind of shuffling slowly and aimlessly through the sand, made entirely of glass. As you look at him, go ahead and give me a perception check in your snake form.
Mer?
New stats.
Well, it's just your perception check because it's your wisdom.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have there's no
Yeah, it's just your perception check. That's all it is.
I was looking to see if there were any modifiers or not.
Yeah, no. Great. So with an 11, you can see that it appears to be human in shape. But every bit of his body is made of seemingly perfect, poured, formed, seamless glass. The armor that he seems to be wearing,
him?
it's opaque, so like light travels through him, but it's not crystal clear. But it is glass. His hair, his body, the clothing, weapons, armor, like everything that he seems to be carrying. It seems like he's got a longbow kind of strapped to his back in some way. There's a sword or a sword hilt protruding from a glass sword sheath. And he's just shuffling along.
The string in his longbow glass too?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sidewind back on to my friends and tell them this. Like,
All right. So Kaerlie, like by the time Kaerlie returns and returns to form, you can also see that it is a shuffling figure, humanoid of some kind. But Kaerlie can provide you details.
Is he like you, Defect? Or is he something else?
Does it seem? I mean, would I know at all?
You're not made of glass.
I know, but would I know if other Warforged could be made of glass?
You don't actually know that you're a Warforged, so you would have no idea.
I presumably would know how big he is. Is he?
He's human-sized.
He's human-sized.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks like a regular person, except totally made of glass.
This is a shot in the dark. Would Spoot have read anything about this?
You can make a history check. With a 14, never heard of anything like this.
Why do I always roll the worst in history?
No, religion is always worse.
That is true. Yeah, I'm
And
both
so
a
is
knowledge
fail.
cleric, and I roll the worst on religion and history.
Yes.
Okay. So here's
It is not
weapons
moving very
are made
quickly.
of glass too.
is it moving in a way that seems to have purpose, or like it's wandering and like that?
Make an insight check. Oh, were you asking Kaerlie or me?
Yeah. I guess I can. If I can see it clearly enough to interpret, then I can ask you. But I
The
guess
roll
I'm
is
theoretically
done.
asking Kaerlie.
Yeah, you guys have approached close enough that you can see the shape.
Oh,
he's
okay.
just
You
kinda
can't
like
make out
slug-
details from where you are. Like, Kaerlie could tell you the details. But you can see it
He's
moving.
just kind of like slogging along, like he's got to get somewhere. But guys, even his weapons are made of glass. I don't even know how you would like use a glass longbow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Grrrig, with your insight, it seems to you like one, the creature is moving slowly, slower than you all do, and it seems to be doing it in a very cautious kind of way, as though almost as if it can't see.
How far away is it from us, roughly?
It's about 60 feet away from you, kind of slowly getting farther at this point.
Oh, okay.
Would Grrrig know anything about construct? Like now being able to see it more closely.
Make an Arcana check.
Eight. Nope.
Yeah, you've never heard of anything like a glass golem or anything.
I mean, it doesn't even have like joints. Like it's just like moving glass.
But it's like he can't see. He's just kind of like shuffling. 'cause he
So
doesn't know
when
what
you
else
were up close to it, it seemed like it was able to move perfectly fine. Like its knees bent, its arms moved and swayed.
Right.
It was just cautiously moving and like slogging through the sand instead of taking bold steps forward.
Right, but he's not like. Is he made of solid piece of glass with a joint in it, or is it just like moving glass?
It's solid glass, but it's not jointed in any way.
It's like an ice sculpture, but glass.
So imagine a person, except instead of skin, they have glass.
Right.
That's what it is.
What
Is
direction?
it glass? I'm just kidding.
What direction is it
Meaning-
moving?
Currently, it's moving in like a southeast kind of direction.
I say
I
we
mean,
go
I bet
ask
he's.
what's up.
I bet he's real vulnerable to frostbite.
Doesn't look like it can see. It looks like it's kind of lost and like tired or something, right? And it's going south-ish. It's the general direction. It's not that far off our way.
I'm
I
not.
don't know what he is. Is he like
I'm not sure.
Defect? Something else?
I'm not sure if it's wise for all of us to approach this thing. It might seem like a hostile maneuver. Perhaps we.
I mean, not if he
indeed.
can't see us.
So
Well, he has other senses.
the creature
perhaps.
kind of starts to turn a little bit, and it kind of glints, and you all kind of are like, dang glass reflections. Aetis, even at this distance, you notice something. The armor that it's wearing, like, it looks familiar to you. And you can see emblazoned upon the chest is a stylized wolf's head. That looks very familiar to you.
So Aetis is just gonna kind of like, his eyes widen, and he's gonna kind of like start slowly taking a step forward. I don't understand.
Neither do I. Let's go find out.
Perhaps we can send Defect as our ambassador. As they
I want to go talk to him.
Okay, let's go.
And Aetis is actually gonna kind of like quickly, but still kind of cautiously, but like confused, run or walk towards it.
Yeah, sure.
How? Sorry, real quick question. How long would you? Never mind. I'm gonna pat Aetis in the back as he's leaving and say, "Good luck if you try to talk to it. I'm gonna cast guidance on him."
Okay.
I'm gonna go too.
Oh, we lost Defect.
Defect run off with this glass person.
Well.
Defect found true love.
Oh, here he comes. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Aetis, as you get closer to this individual, you see that he has a short sword in its scabbard. There's a longbow on its back. The armor that he's wearing is fashioned in the style of your home village of Lycos, and the stylized wolf head in the center is very much an image that you grew up seeing. And I would like you to make a history check for me.
Straight history?
With advantage. Okay, with a 17, Aetis, you recognize this person. Or at least the image that this glass has captured. You recognize him, or it, as Relgan Hertag. And you remember him as a plain warden in the Everwood Forest, and he was once the instructor of new recruits in Lycos.
Can you type that?
Yeah.
So
Grrrig is gonna have followed, and like, I want to try to insight this, because Aetis is acting basically like Grrrig is like, you know something? What do you know? What's going on? Hasn't asked anything yet.
Yeah, go ahead. Make an insight check.
7. Cut.
Aetis is hard to read right now.
So like once Aetis is like 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Relgan. Is that even... What are you?
So this figure is just shuffling along, and it doesn't respond to you.
I'm gonna run over and like put my hand on its shoulder to kind of get its attention.
All right, you go and you put your hand on its shoulder, and it immediately goes down to its side, pulls a glass short sword, and makes 2 swiping attacks at you. That's a 14 to hit and a 20 to hit.
The first one misses.
All right. So with the 20, you take 11 points of slashing damage as this fine-edged, thin glass sword slashes through you. And, like, it's just waving the sword at you. Actually, hold on. That might not have happened. Yeah, that did happen. So yeah, like you grabbed him and he just like whirled around and kind of make an insight check for me, Aetis.
think I can do those.
Yeah, it is a disadvantage because you have a level of exhaustion, but...
Right.
Okay, with an 8, you get the sense that it's doing it because it can't see anything. Like, the attacks are the memory of... Like, you can tell that this thing knows how to attack, but it can't... It's doing its best to, like, gauge where the threat is. But you
Sort of
also think it
slashing
can't...
blindly.
See, you also think it can't see very well. If at all.
Here?
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. So we will end there with Aetis having been slashed by a glass short sword. And
Short sword.
yeah, it is a glass short sword. By perhaps a person or entity that he knows. So tune
Somebody
in next week to
mentioned
find
it,
out
right?
what happens with the crazy glass man in the desert. I would like to thank everyone for coming and checking us out tonight. Hope you all had fun. We're going to go around, say some quick thank yous and goodbyes, and we'll go from there. Let's start at the top over here with Spoot. Spoot, go ahead, say goodbye and plug anything you feel like you need to plug.
Spoot says goodbye. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. And plugs are as follows. Please check out, well, Amber do her own plug. Please check Level Adventurers if you wish. Jared and I are doing a little podcast thing. And yeah, hopefully see you next week.
Awesome. And well, let's go down to Aetis.
Oh, we lost Matt again.
I'm here.
No,
Wait.
Matt's we lost Mike.
We lost Mike.
He didn't want to say goodbye.
I don't even know if I'm in the frame anymore.
Yeah, you're
thanks
good.
for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Hopefully. I know I will be overthinking this entire week. So.
Right. Great. Let's move along down to Sarah.
Good night, everyone. I have nothing to plug. I'm just here. Thanks for watching.
All right, and Grrrig.
All right. Okay, bye. Thanks. And as always, come and check out Story Dice Friend Time podcast. I believe this is an off week. I lost track of my Mondays. Time means nothing, but we've got a backlog of episodes. If you haven't found us already, we are on all the places. Thanks.
All right. Yep. And it looks like Defect is still kind of mid login, so Mike definitely says goodbye and thank you. And I would like to thank everybody. We're going to do a quick raid of the DAT network because they're on and that's fun. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. So thank you all very much. And thank you for all your work. We hope to see you next time. Check out Middle Level Adventurers. Check out Story Dice Friends Time. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Ciao.